about the sochana, like how people grieve about death. So I think Shankaracharya was telling that we should not grieve on the structure of how things are or something like that. That came up, right? I actually forgot the shloka number. So there the explanation was such that anyway, since the structure of how the things work is like birth and death is like a structure, we should not actually grieve on those things. Such a point came up, right, Bindaji?
Right. Jadasya mrityor dhruvam dhruvam janma mritasya cha.
Yeah. So now grief on death is one aspect, but there is grief about so many other aspects, right? Like for example, in the modern day, like fear of something like climate change or so many other problems we have in life, right? So for that also, can we apply such a logic, or it applies only for death to get rid of grief for things other than death? So can this be extended somehow, or is not valid? Can you expand on that, how that thing works?
See, all fear is coming from one root problem, that it is going to affect me, and the extent of effect can be such that I can even be eliminated, or I can be killed, or I may be put to suffering and all. Climate change is one of them. And any other fear, if you look at it, any other grief, you take it, everything will at the end boil down to one thing. The individual, the misunderstood individual, feeling that he or she is going to be affected to such an extent that maximum what can happen is their death. So to bring in that ultimate fear is why Mritam and Janma has been taken with the examples. So when it is said those who are born is bound to die, and those who are dead is not that is the end of it. They are born again. So from both these points, apahariga diye nattum shochitam arhasi. You have no right to, grieve over that, because it's a cycle. That is the nature, how it is functioning. So if you do not know the cycle in which the nature is functioning, then you are being foolish. Therefore, don't lament upon things which cannot be changed. Inevitable. Apariharye, that is the word. Parihara is solution. Apariharye means you don't have a solution for it. Exactly, because that is the way in which the nature functions. If a tree dies, it doesn't mean the tree is dead, but because it has given the another trees to come up from itself, the seeds or the reproduction material, and that is why it is mentioned as Mritam Janma Janmam Mritasya cha. Even those who die are not dying forever. It is the cycle is repeated.
So here also, does it indicate that we should not think about those things like sochana means one thing is grieving, but we also go into deep recursive thoughts about, like for example, if there will not be, like how will my further generations, like is the planet inhabitable for next generation? So these kind of this is one example, but there could be several which are those recursive thoughts, right? So is that such kind of thoughts also to be avoided? Anything like that being said, or?
Yeah. That is ultimately what the whole message is about. Because the nature knows how to take care of itself. What are we lamenting upon? The lamenting upon is based on the individual gain or loss. So that is why in the 38th verse when we come, another two, three more verses it will come. Sukha dukkhe samikritva labha labho jaya jayo. When it comes to that, you will understand how all this nattum shochitum arhasi, there are multiple verses which are going to come up. All of them are leaving to word that there is no reason why we should be lamenting upon anything in this. Things which, that's what I was telling you, there are things which can be controlled, which cannot be controlled. Now the things which are beyond our control, why should we cry about it? Things which can be controlled, why are you waiting for it? Take the bow and arrow and fight for it. These are the two options, right?
Yeah. And also it felt like, I don't remember the exact bhashya, but when you were reading it, it felt like this kind of unnecessary thinking should be replaced with some kind of metaphysical thinking or something like that came up. So is that also one of the prescription, would you say?
That's what Krishna was telling. That's why the first set of prescription was from the metaphysical point of view. And if you have not understood, then comes to the dharma and the other things, which is based on your vyavaharika life.
Okay, Bindaji. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying. Yeah.
Thank you, Srini.
Binduji, the other reason would be, the straightforward method is to maintain the jnana, right? That you're not the body and mind, right?
Right.
Yeah. And for death is not a topic unless and until there is lamentation, right?
Mm. So once you know you are not the body, even death
Yes.
and birth is thrown out of the window. Then
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about it at all.
Yes. But when there is the doubt, when lamentation arises, then you can do the manana, right?
Yes. Yash is the one who wanted this question and answer session
Yes,
on
he is
Gita.
in the audience, yeah. He might be.
Yeah, I know.
He'll come up.
Namaste, Yash. Namaste.
I hope I'm audible.
Yeah, you are.
Unfortunately, this week was very much hectic. I was busy in the night also. So I could not check back the replays.
Aha.
Although I'm sorry for that.
No problem.
I know I was the one who was asking for this extra session, but unfortunately that could not do it today to ask any question from you.
No issues, Yash. I just said that only. That's it.
I hope you are doing well.
Yeah, I am okay. I'm okay. I'm doing well.
So Bindaji, generally the understanding is second chapter is fully dealing with jnana and third chapter is, but it looks like already there is a, like you said, some karma dharma kind of aspect has been discussed in the last few slokas, right?
Yeah, actually, the metaphysical aspect has been completed. Now he has moved into the dharma aspect of it, vyavaharika point of view. Then after that, he will move into the nature of jnana, how it is functioning in the one who knows about it, Sthita Pratnyasya Bhasha, or the way in which a person of realization or a person who has done the nitidhyasanam and realized or come to the conclusion that he is not the body, how that such a person will be operating in the world. It is not that he is going to vanish from the world. He will be very much And then how does he perform, or what is his signals with which? Karan, Patrick, Jesse.
So Bindoji, I think that long bhashya for the 2.21 shloka which you took for 2 days, I think that was only super It gave for me it gave like a surprise as well as a satisfaction feeling. So I think, yeah, that indicates that the thing has shifted, this kind of thing. I didn't know
Yeah.
that exists there, but it was like, yeah, that part was a great concluding bhashya kind of thing.
Like that, there are many places where it will come. And especially when we move further down, such clarifications are given by Shankaracharya in the explanation, commentary, that by the end of the 18th chapter, nobody should have any doubt at all. Namaste, Chandrasekhar. What happened? He asked some question. Prakash, did he go back?
I think, yeah, I don't know what happened. Either it could be a glitch in the clubhouse or he decided not to ask. But
Okay.
he's welcome. I've invited him again. Chandrasekhar, yes. Anu is coming.
Namaste, Anu.
Namaste, Vindoji. Namaste, everybody.
Namaste.
I wanted to know what is it about becoming, like, as is it somebody is something said about like becoming, like it's like which causes all the birth and um, death and all other rise of the world is like becoming, no, like in form of anything. So is anything said about it and how to like stop it? I don't know. I know it's
Yeah,
not related, but I was looking at what Buddha was saying. So that's like,
it is there in the Gita, but we'll have to wait for the chapter, respective chapters to come up. Urdhvamulamatashagam mashyaktam praparavyayam chandansi yasya varnani yastum vedasa vedavid.
okay. So desires are the cause of it, right?
Yes, so desires are the causes if you do not know the truth. If you know the truth, you won't have desires. It's a two-pronged thing. First and foremost, you don't know the truth. Then you have a misapprehension that who you are. You think that you are the body, mind, intellect. And with the knowledge of body, mind, intellect, you have the desires. And desires you chase from the wrong assumption that you are the body. Desires after desires, never finding a solution to know why happiness is not permanent. Desires are there, thinking that desires come up from the search of happiness. And when the object is achieved, either you are happy or you are unhappy because you wanted it at some time, but you got it at a wrong time. So that way you are unhappy. Even you get it at the right time, but you are not happy because it is ephemeral in nature, temporary in nature. So you are unhappy. This way, both sides, if you look at, the happiness is never permanent and fulfilling. That keeps on going until you become really fed up of all the desires. Then Vairagya sets in, and when the Vairagya sets in, you will be looking for the Viveka, for the right knowledge. That is when the Shatsambhati happens, and then you know that you have to be free from your wrong knowledge. And that is what is called the moksha or mumukshutva. When you want to get out of your wrong knowledge that you are the body, mind, intellect, you are looking for the solution that who am I? And when you find out the solution, who am I, that is the time realizing that all the time I was having the problem because I was thinking I was the body, mind, intellect. Complex. And the moment you know that you are not that, what you are, you have been that all the time. There the solution comes. Then your prajna is sthira. That is the sthita prajna. When you call that, you become an established person in the knowledge. Thereafter, the life, the experience, the world, nothing affects you because you know the reality behind them.
Yes. So this every in body, every sensation, like I keep feeling body, if each feeling keeps shouting, I, me, and it is like a constant. It's never going to end so long as I'm in this body.
Right.
Uh, s- yeah. So. If I have seen who I am by in self inquiry, like who am I, so my attention goes from the body to this nowness or isness, which I am, the whole this thing, right? So
Right.
this process gets broken in between this continuous formation of I, me through, is it through body mind framework which makes I that break happens. So my question is, break happens, but still the process of becoming is so strong within that it keeps pulling back to the attention, pulling back to that same body mind, me, I, some story. So um, um, my question is, if you have seen you are this, the whole isness, why how can it become more like permanent and you never take the shape?
The shape taking is not a problem, not an issue. Identifying that the shape is you is a problem. See, when you are having the I, that I is not the I which is your true nature. That I which is then through the body is operating is the individuality. Even when it is the individuality, the expression of the individual is that my eyes, my body, my mind, my thought, everything is mine. But I am different from that. But that doesn't gel upon the person who is, even when he is saying that I am seeing something and I am doing something, actions are attributed, thinking that the action, the senses of action is, yourself, or senses of organ perception as yourself. My eyes, my nose, my hearing, everything. When you are saying my is that you are saying I am the eyes, or I am the nose, I am the hearing, I am the ears. You don't say that way. So there is definitely a bifurcation from the I, which is the individual owning the body, and the instruments of the body is separated and as a part of the body. But which in the body, which is that I, which is owning the eyes, which is owning the ears, which is owning the, tongue, etc. If you ask him, he will not be able to answer that. Then forget about that. It's from the physical body, let us go to the subtle body. The body, mind and intellect. So at that time, my thoughts, my logic, my reasoning, everything, my emotions, feelings, thoughts, everything is mine. So then who are you? When that question is being asked, he is not able to say who I am at that time. So this I, when it is coming again and again, is the moment you forget who you are, or you don't able to remain established in that I. The I, which is I'm talking about, is the awareness. So I will not use the word aware, I for the awareness, because awareness doesn't have an I. The I is when the awareness is associated with the body, mind, intellect, sense complex. So this is exactly what is deciphered in the 7th mantra of Mandukya. Nanda prajnam, na bahi prajnam, na veda prajnam, na prajnam, na prajnam, na prajnanaganam, na prajnanaganam, achintyam avyaktam ananda rupam, avyavaharyam, prashavan, aikatma pratyadharam, prapanchopashamam, shantam shivam, chaturtam manyante sa atma savitneya. That mantra is only for that, from that point of view. It is negating everything. Nanda prajnam. You are not the subtle body. Na bahi prajnam. You are not the gross body, which is the waker. Na ubeda prajnam. Not a mixture of those two. Na prajnana ganam, which is indicating about the deep sleep. Achintyam. I am not thinkable. Avyavaharyam. I cannot be transactable. Then vyavahara means it is not a thing which can be transacted upon. Then ekatma pratyasaram. So that is the essence. Everyone, everybody or every creation is saying I. There is only one I, which is everybody's I. That ekatma pratyasara. Prapanchopashamam. That is there even when the prapancha means the whole cosmos or the whole experience, field of experience is, upashama means subsided. That is when we are not identifying with any body. Ekatma pratyasaram, sarvapanchopashamam, shantam shivam, advaitam. It is shantam. It is the tranquility. Shivam is the purest. Advaitam, there is nothing second to it, because that is all and there is nothing to be outside it. Sa atma savitneyaha. That is the atma, and that has to be known by the one who is inquiring about. So once that way, when we say that, you have to transcend beyond the known fields of experience. You cannot use any known field of experience beyond that. Because if you look at it, even when we say that I am Sarvam Khalidam Brahma, or I am Brahma, or Aham Brahmasmi, you are assuming there is multiplicity and accepting. But at the same time, that is not Dvitiyam Asti. There is nothing second to it. This is what the Chandogya Upanishad said. Yatrana Anyat Pasyati. You are not seeing anything other than yourself. So how can you see the otherness? Anyat Pasyati. Anyat Shrunoti. You are not able to hear, you are not hearing anything about or from anything. There is nothing other than you. Now, Anyat Vijanadi. I do not even know anything other than myself. So the otherness is not known to me. That is the state of Sabhuma. That is the Bhuma or Brahma or the consciousness we are talking about. So when we understand all these things, we will not get a picture in our mind about our true nature. But we can negate anything that can be picturized or objectified. When you finish all objectification, bhada avadinu, that is what it is said. Bhada avadi means negation, the limit of negating anything which can be objectified. Even the idea that I am the one who is negating has to be objectified and negated. Then there is nothing to be done further. So that state where you dissolve in yourself without a second, that is advitiyam. That is what you are. You don't transact at that level anymore. At that level, nothing happens. Na kartrutvam, na bhoktrutvam. Neither you are a doer nor an enjoyer, because there is no otherness. This is what the Upanishad, Gita, all of them are talking about.
Is there a shortcut where I just get some blessing and I realize self?
Looking outward. That's only the blessing.
Sorry?
Stop looking outward. That is a blessing.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Hand raising is open if anybody wants to come up.
Somebody saying he was arguing actually that if you surrender to God, then God will do everything. You just say everything, surrender everything to God. Keep surrendering. So, what do you think about that?
First, you should know the meaning of surrendering.
God is the doer of
And
everything. You don't take the ownership of anything.
no, what do you mean by surrendering? What can you surrender? The total surrender is happening when? Anu, please.
Don't know.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. Is it a way of avoidance, or fooling yourself? Actually, maybe I don't know.
No. You have to surrender everything what you think is yours to the God. Whatever may be the God. Can you surrender everything, means including the individuality which you think you are? Then the God will take care of you.
And how to surrender?
Surrender means disown them. Yagene eke amrutatva manashuhu. By sacrifice or denunciation alone, you will get immortality. Immortality is your nature. So when you are surrendering everything which you think it is your possession, including your identity, feeling that I am so and so, my body, my breathing, my possessions, everything. Nothing is yours. Everything is mine. That feeling that has to be abandoned, including the body, mind and intellect. When you surrender, that type of is a total surrender, then only God will be able to help you. Even if you hold on to even a thread, then God will think, okay, she's still holding on to something. Let her find out whether she's able to find the solution for it. After that, I'll help her. Right? Krishna says, Ananyas chindayando mam ye jana paryupasate tesham nitya viyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. That is the answer for it. In the Bhagavad Gita, it will come. We'll discuss it in detail at that time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anu.
Bindoji, one quick question. Last week we discussed about karma aspects, right? Like karma as a Vedokta versus how it has been reinterpreted by modern gurus like Swami Vivekananda, Swami Chinmayananda, that one, right? So now when it comes to things like the prakriyas in Advaita, like Shravana Manana Nididhyasana, Neti Neti. So what are the interpretations? Would Swami Vivekananda or Chinmayananda interpret it as karma or akarma? Those kind of things.
Sadhanas, not karmas. Sadhana and karma, sadhana is not a karma. So yama, niyama, pratyahara or titiksha, all those things, which is there in the Shat Sambati, they are all actions. If you look as activity, but they are not considered as action because they are not coming from a individualistic or selfish point of view. So even Shravana Manana Nididhyasana is not from a individualistic or need-based driven. It is more about enquiry-based activity. So that is not considered as an action. It is more for Chitta Shuddhi.
Okay, thank you, Bindoji.
Namaste, Ganesh Prasad.
Good evening, Bindoji. Namaste.
Good evening, namaste.
I was very alarmed to listen to this last statement. Sadhana and karma are different.
Yes.
And when there is sadhana, there would be sankalpa, no? Sankalpa.
There are two type of things which you are confused in Ganeshji.
Okay.
Sankalpa has got a desire element in it. Whereas the Shravana Manana Nididhyasana which Srinivasa was asking is a sadhana form, but there is no desire to it. It is more of a wanting to know the reality. So there is no sankalpa at that time. It is knowing fire as fire has no sankalpa in that, no?
Yeah.
Same way, knowing Brahman or Atman as my own nature has no sankalpa in it.
So the meaning of, so the statement like moksha kanksha is wrong in a way.
Mumukshu, the word itself is moktum, moksham ichchati yaha. One who desires for liberation.
Liberation.
Right. Now the liberation is in the ultimate sense a gaining of something. It is abandoning of everything which is releasing you from, releasing you into freedom. You cannot gain freedom. When you release yourself from the state of bondage, you become free naturally.
Naturally, yes.
Uh, I've noticed this and also read that the desire comes with suffering. It arises with the feeling of suffering. The very start itself is the desire is suffering, and till the time the object of desire is attained, there is suffering, and mind comes to an only one. It is attained, right? So this desire for enlightenment also, then how will that, bring you freedom from bondage when desire
See,
itself is...
I know that the question comes is that anything which is external to you, when you desire, it is never going to be permanent with you, because it has got a beginning in time of accumulation or receiving it. So what has beginning in time has to end in time. What comes will go. That is what Krishna said, no? Jatasya mrityor dhruvam. Dhruvam janma mritasya cha. That what is born is dying, and what is dying is going to be born. That is the nature's law. It's the same way, whatever is desired is coming to make a separation at a later time, and that separation can result in sorrow. But freedom is something where you are not getting something new. Freedom is your Swarupa, is your nature. When you are entangled in the wrong ideas, you become bound with false notions, false ideas, false association, all those things. So what is the moksha which we are talking about, or emancipation or realization we are talking about? Realizing that I was wrong. When you are realizing I am wrong, you are not gaining something new. You are realizing that freedom, that was your nature, but I thought that I was bound by the ideas of the limitation of the body, mind and intellect. So it is totally different, even though the terminologies may be apparently looking like a desire, but it is not a desire. A desire to get rid of a limitation is what is freedom. Limitation is coming from false identification of myself with a limited, aspects of life. That is body, mind, intellect complex. So when I am limited when I associate myself with a limitation, I become limited, but I don't realize that I became limited because of my own association with the wrong knowledge. So the moment the right knowledge comes, that limitation is nullified, and I go back to my original stage of total freedom.
Okay, is there a path where just by clarification or dissolving the ignorance through listening to right knowledge, is it possible to dissolve the identity, because it is based on ignorance, ignorance of your limitless as an identity? So just by question answers and solving your
What is the antidote for ignorance?
knowledge.
Yes, that's it. And that knowledge has to be such a knowledge where there is no doubt, there is no ignorance of or unknown element to it, or a wrong concept or misapprehension. If you are free from the three, that knowledge is fundamental and cannot be destabilized. That is called Nischayatmika Dhi or Nididhyasana.
Okay. So just by question answer sessions, is it possible to get emancipation?
Yes. Anatma tathedu nirakarana vartmana atmana atmatvam siddhed natu anya sheshat. This is what Sureshwaracharya writes in the Brihadaranya Upanishad, Vartika. Anatma tathedu. Anatma means which is not my true nature. Anatma is Atma, opposite is Anatma. Tat hedu, the causes for them. Nivarana vartmana, when I am removing that hedu or that cause for my non-being. Vartmana means method, path. Atmana atmatvam siddhe. The self realizes the self. There is nothing else. The I becomes the true I, not the misapprehended I. That is what Sureshwaracharya says in the Brihadaranya worship.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Namaste, Joy.
Namaste, Binduji. Binduji, if there is one particular area which the mind can ask, if that is put forward, not in very clear, articulate words necessarily, but like other things cannot hold that easily in the, in the looking or in the, whatever we want to call it, the looking or whole thing, right? The spiritual journey, or even specifically, I don't know how to put it in this thing, like when one is looking to see that one is the awareness and other things, can be seen or whatever. But on one particular thing, it can catch you, kind of like where you also kind of can't answer to that, or maybe you don't feel that, okay, this is just the mind saying it and I can ignore it. Then what's the best way to look at that particular area?
Can you specify it slightly better?
Yeah, like name, fame, looks, career, those things may not catch you. Okay. But so you have to be introverted for looking, at least, initially one was looking within and observing and all. So one kind of, in a way, in my case, is more externally isolated in that way. So the attention is more internal. So at one point in time, when one used to step out, like not very recently, but I'm saying what I could see is, when you're out in movement or places where there are human beings and some minimum interaction or whatever, so there's a certain flow. Your attention is on the activity and there is no, it's just a flow. There isn't necessarily a disturbance. So it's a little kind of like, natural. Like, they say man is a social animal kind of thing. But it feels like that is not the main point. The point is, looking at what really is the truth. So on this point of isolation or these interactions and things like that, it'll subtly, very subtly it'll ask, well, is the whole point to just be alone? Even though I get that that is not it. Logically one understands it, but it's subtle and it kind of, so it's not just that, okay, mind is saying it and I can see through it and it kind of feels like, okay, yeah, I also kind of want to know here. But it comes, of course, in very subtle ways. It's not a very clear-cut words and conversation happening, but yeah, it could be any area for anyone, right? Yeah.
See, this is the place where the third mantra of the first pada of Kenopanishad very clearly says that as long as we have Jagrat and Swapna, there will be experiences. Through and through those experiences, Pratibodham, in that we should be able to see or associate ourselves with the witness to the waker and its experience after shifting to the witness aspect of it.
I'm sorry.
So when I'm talking,
I got stuck. Could you repeat?
So when I'm talking, for example, the example I'll give you. When I'm talking to you, I know that this body, this mouth, this sound is what is interacting in the transaction. But that knowledge where it is happening is known to a awareness which is independent of the waking experience, because that awareness is able to remain unchanging even when the experiences are changing. The words are changing from my mouth, the listening I'm hearing from you is changing, or my experiences are changing, whether this experience or any other experiences. But I remain as the witness who is aware of these changes and happenings, irrespective whether these changes are happening or not. This establishing on that aspect of awareness as a witness is what we can achieve in the transactional world. But that will give us the idea that I am above the waker, the dreamer, and the deep sleeper. Therefore, neither the happenings in the waking, nor the dream, whether good or bad, or the sleep which is happening, is not really my actions. It is in the awareness of my presence. These things are happening. Therefore, I need not worry about the details of them. Whatever may be, the good, bad, or ugly, doesn't matter. I don't have to be worried because I am free from them, and in my presence they are happening. It is just like the sunlight. The sun is free from whatever happens in the sunlight, whether it's a murder or whether it's a love, whatever, or a blossoming of a flower or a decay of a tree. Nothing will affect the sun. That witness aspect is something like in my conscious awareness, which is the enlighter of all experiences. That is where my reality is, and I am that. When I know that I am that, nothing what happens in the waking or dream or deep sleep really matters. And the world is also changing according to whether I'm in waking or dream or deep sleep. So the world is also not permanent. The experience is also not permanent. They are all just a transcend, or what you call transitions in the awareness. So that awareness, which is aware of the transitions, is permanent and independent. Therefore, I am that. That is the experience which we will get.
Yes, thank you, Binduji. This, I agree, and I think that made it sort of easier to at least cognitively understand about looking at it like the sun, like you said, right? It's shining equally at everything. At some, does this knowledge or a subtle reminder to oneself and sometimes being completely present and aware, does it sort of Obviously, at some point it has to be more than, cognitive or coming and going kind of thing, right? Does it sort of stabilize clearly in that?
Yes.
Hmm.
You will be established in that. That is when we call it as Sthira Prajna. One who has established in it that. Till then, it is Shravana Manana Nididhyasana as a practice will have to be continued until you are established in it. That is when your Prajna is Sthira. Thank you, Joy.
Thank you, Binduji. It's just we continue till then, you're reminding oneself or listening.
Yes.
Sometimes in a moment, like something sort of, like I could, like it's in the background. I mean, now I'm using the word background. In the moment, the mind, something was going on and on, and in a moment it was like, I mean, it's not always seen in that way, but that time it was like, I mean, the ridiculousness of it could be seen that, in a moment it's going on and I don't have to necessarily be engaged in it. And, like how easily one gets engaged in it, right?
How easily one thing they engage it,
Meaning that sometimes whatever is coming, whatever is being felt or thought, we feel, okay, I'm feeling this sometimes. But in a moment, it was sometimes like, I mean, I can't say every moment it was like that, but particularly something was seen, and at that time it was like, I'm just, I don't want to say that, oh, it's seen and that's it. But in the moment, like a day or two ago, something I could see. So I was like trying to not even suppress what is going on and not even go along with it. Letting it be there, whatever the thought, the feeling, whatever the instruction the mind is giving, or whatever the discomfort is, like saying, okay, it could be for a small thing also. But it's not that, okay, in that moment it was so clear. So there is a slight feeling to look again that it was clear and that it should, I can't say, it's not like a demand that it should always remain clear, but I guess you have to just leave it. If in another moment it's not coming with such remarkable like clarity, then I don't have to chase that feeling also that it was clear then and it should be clear right now. That is what I'm asking you in a way. That's the second.
Yeah, I can understand that. There will be a moment when you will feel that, should I am aware of these things happening, but there is no involvement from my side. But those things are still at the mental level. With the intellect, very clear about the analysis of that events which are happening. But that has not shifted to the witness aspect. The moment that shifts to witness aspect, there won't be any reaction or any expectation or anything. You will not be even feeling that experience is happening to you. That individuality also won't be there. It will be pure as if, you are looking at the sky and the clouds are moving. What is that? You are not moving the clouds. Clouds are moving of its own. You are just a witness to the movement of the clouds. And you are neither affected nor happy about those things unless you are a painter who wants to paint that imagination clouds in your painting, and that then you are involving yourself. But as an ordinary person who we all see in the sky, the clouds moving or the stars shining in the night, it is just there. There is no effect Either I am gaining by that or I am losing by that. Sukha dukkhe sami krutva labha labho jaya jayo. Neither to be gained nor to be lost anything. Just be an observer or a witness to it. That's all. That is the type of thing. The moment you feel that I am not taking a stand of a beneficiary or a loser of this thing, that is still from the individualistic point of view, not from the Sakshi point of view.
Yeah, can I
That
clarify, Binduji, that in once it could be witnessed, the background, the mind is saying like, do this, go back to whatever was you were doing earlier, this is not okay. That moment it could be witnessed, the whole thing, and it was not I was not sucked into it, in fact, and it was like, almost you could stand and see it's like, why am I even, it's like a play going on, and why am I even responding in it, like, involved, like, so it was clear and it didn't bother at all, like, but I'm saying if it could happen in one way, but for another thing, I could observe right now that on a different topic, like the one I told you, on that topic, I may just have to remind myself that, hey, in other things you're the witness, so in this also you're the witness. But in this topic, it doesn't remain as easily observable, right?
Yeah, you are right. Doesn't happen that way.
I suppose you had mentioned something the other day about expecting something. I actually wanted to hear from you, like some clarification or maybe your, wisdom on that. And the only way in which I could feel, like when we were much younger, maybe something, and I don't want to get into detail because it may be just applicable. I mean, it's universally applicable, but just to put it briefly, that when we were small, the person who was really heavily into spirituality would tell us, like, even if you care about people in your home, oh, this is attachment, you people have too much attachment. And I didn't have this in mind, but it just occurred to me right now when I was asking you that maybe, yes, in that topic, it could be that we thought that once something is deeply understood, then it will actually change the way things are. Because you're saying that changing meaning, not that we are expecting something else to happen, but that some inner knowing, and that I still feel there will be a clarity, there is complete, the knowing, not that one is expecting something to change or manifest on the outside, but also on this second topic, maybe the way that whatever one feels from inside, the attachment or the interaction would be different within me. That is how it was sort of said then and forgotten about. So it could be there that in that way. But the main thing is just the knowing, the realizing, the clarity. Not so much expecting something to manifest on the outside. But like I said, the second thing is how things would feel from within on things that could get you earlier. That changing within us or within me.
The thing is that we have to take into acknowledgement the influences from the past. Either it is helpful or not helpful, doesn't matter. That will give us some, what you call, conditioning in our mind. But those conditionings should not be any way used for, to shift your identity from the I, which is conditioned by those things, to the witness, which is free from the any sort of possibility of influences. That if you can understand and get it, then you will be able to free yourself from all these past and present influences which can bring into your thoughts.
Right. So you're saying that even if there is a change within us, a feeling of neutrality where earlier it could cause any effect, even that should not even
Yes,
matter. Yeah,
that should not matter.
I
Yes.
got it. It's because awareness is even aware of this, and this is also still kind of happening within the drama
Right,
itself.
right. That's right.
That's clear. Thank you so much.
I want to just continue. Binduji, is it because we are attached to the result of our action that all the like suppose Arjun was not attached to the result that everybody will get killed or something like that, and he would just do his duty. So is this the cause of all the because we are attached to the result that the whole bondage is there?
Yeah, bondage is due to attachments. No doubt about it. But why should the desire come first place? So in the second chapter now which we are doing, there is a set of what Swami Chinmayananda used to call it as ladder of fall. Sangha Sanjayade Kama. From association develops the desires. Then desires, go stage by ladder as which we fall. Pranashyati is the last word which will then, it will be the end because of that. So everything stems from one thing, association. Association with otherness. The association and the otherness are the reason why we end up suffering in the world. So when we end all otherness, then only we can free from these issues. The whole issue is otherness.
And otherness is from meanness.
Mhm.
Simultaneously, I'm the
Yeah.
little me.
Yes. Aham and idam. In Sanskrit, these are the two words. The moment aham means the ahankara. Then idamkara comes. Idam means this world. This. Other than me, everything is this for me. So aham and idam. Aham is the individual or the subject. Idam is the phenomenality, world outside.
Bindoji,
Yes.
I just wanted to get clarified about one thing. So many people question, and questions keep emerging out of the three shades of ignorance, that is avidya, samshaya, viparya. So I feel those are the three reasons from which questions will be emerging time and again. And the more the questions and the more will be the confusion or one of those three.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Go ahead.
So, I have a feeling that, and it is my experience, questions come one or two times and it gets faded by themselves, even without getting answers for them. So at such moments, mind simply stops. Whether it was craving for answers as it used to be once upon a time, some years ago, no craving for answers, questions come, and if it gets some answer, again if some doubt arises, then also it is okay. the questions just fall out. So that is how it happens. I'm confused whether is it the negligent mind which is causing this, or is it the state of awareness where these questions are keep coming and I'm just not bothered, just witnessing the questions. So this kind of a mindset is there for me most of the times. Could you please shed some light on this?
See, it can happen, Ganesh, it can happen from two situations. A momentary inquisitiveness can stem the question or the doubt or needing clarification and things like that. When we do an analysis of the question and trying to find an answer within ourselves, we are finding a solution. Actually, all solutions are available within us. But when we are doing that analysis properly, we may find a solution and then that question gets dissolved. But sometimes what happens is that we don't find a solution. We procrastinate the analysis. And in the procrastination, what happens is that the forgetfulness of the mind even forgets the question itself without getting an answer.
Yes.
So
and it doesn't even bother
these two
also.
these two are the things, because once it is forgotten, you don't want bother about it, no.
Yeah.
And even if you find an answer, then also you are not bothered about it.
Yeah, I just want to know whether there is positivity in it or negativity in it, or is it the nature of the mind?
That's the nature of the mind.
Okay.
Because the solution is that not mind will find a solution for it. The doubt comes up in the mind. The solution also mind will try to find out.
And even lethargy could be one of the reasons, no? Mental lethargy.
Right. That's why I said procrastination. You may procrastinate when the analysis. When you procrastination of the analysis is the lethargy part of it.
But the end product, the end result would be same, no? One who deeply analyze the thing and go after questioning. And
there is a difference. There is a difference.
Okay.
If you have found an answer, that doubt will not come up again. But if you have procrastinated it, it can come up anytime in your life. Sometimes a question which you asked as a child may bother you when you become old. Because you procrastinated to such an extent that then you even forgot to even think about it. But later a situation triggered the whole same question or a doubt in your old age. So that is where the difference is. Where it is solution is found, it will never pop up again because you have solved it once for all. That is why I said the antidote for ignorance is knowledge.
Yeah. Because I got this thing to be clarified, because when I was listening to Joy, the way she was finding it so difficult to express, and I could make out that it was her experience only. She was trying her best to express, but it was not getting expressed. And I had felt the same kind of thing, but at that time, somehow there was a deep relaxation in me. I don't know whether it was, as you said, procrastination, or the kind of, okay, it is there. Why to scratch the head? Anywhere the solution is within me, it will pop up. The solution also will pop up today or tomorrow. Let it not be.
That is procrastination.
Yeah. That's not a very, because
healthy thing.
Yeah. Because it is said that kaschit dhiraha, one who has been, so there I feel a little guilty of that. Of course, it is the nature of
the mind, as you
Yeah.
said. So that is
Namaste,
the only
Revati.
thing is Shravana Manana Nidhyasana. That is the only thing, perhaps
Yeah.
the only gateway.
That's only way.
Thank you, Bindoji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ganesh.
Namaste,
Revati.
Pranam Bindoji.
Pranam.
Namaste, everyone.
Namaste.
Bindoji, my question is, it's from Bhashya 43. There, the Vidushaha, how he will treat the waking means, yatha buddhya aratasya shabdartasya vikraya means there you said it has two type of one is Gambhirananda and one is from your Swamiji Guruji one explanation is the Atma is saying through the Buddhi, which is which has discrimination quality and which is qualified for Gnana, that through that Buddhi, the Atma is saying I. I am listening, I am like everything. And another one is Itara Adhyasa.
Yes.
Right. And that
That's
I,
right.
which the first I said, that I is Sakshi? Is
No.
that?
That is not Sakshi. That's a intellect, Buddhi.
Buddhi, which has the
Which has the knowledge, which has got the analytical skill to identify itself as Sakshi, but that Sakshi is not a witness. That's an analytical identification as a observer. But a Sakshi is a witness which is not involved. See, whereas the Buddhi is involved. That is why it is analyzing and finding out an answer as I am the observer type of a state. But the Sakshi is independent, is not involved in any process. Neither the analysis, nor even the result, nor even the whole thing is happening in witness. That is the beauty of it.
Yes. But why is Atma involved in, why there the I, how it will, we have to consider it I as the Atma there through the Buddhi?
Come again? Repeat the question.
There you said Atma will consider as I through the discrimination which has the quality of the discriminating quality, the Buddhi.
Yes.
Even there also, why it has to say I?
See, the terminology I is used. That is why I said, when it is a Sakshi, I will use awareness rather than the word I. The moment we use the word I, we may get confused between the awareness and the intellect. Both has the high sharpness and the capacity to dissect a situation. Whereas the witness is as a screen, doesn't involve in the projections. Whereas intellect is involved, part of the process.
Yes. That's why they are, okay. Yes. And here we can call Vidusha as the who has the knowledge of Atma, Anatma, Viveka Jnana, but not the pure Gnani. We can consider like that because the Purva Pakshi asks, why the Pishta Peshana for him. So we can consider like this, no?
Yes, that is a, manye. Vidusham manye. They are not
Yes, not
jnanis.
not full. Okay, fully knowledge.
Yes.
Okay.
Namaste, Jesse. Thank you, Revati.
Thank
Namaste,
you.
Bindo, and good evening, all. Thank you so much for your questions, everyone. I always learn from them. So I'm up to experimenting on bringing an expression of more joy into actions of duty. And so I know what that feels like because I've done enough experimentation, and certainly in dance and sports, that flow, ability to be in the flow and to have the action moving through you in an impersonal way where you're more of a witness consciousness. I know what that feels like. And I'm just wondering if you have any recommendations for me orienting myself towards actions that I consider are required, and therefore that's why they're called a duty. But I want to do it with a sense of surrender so that I feel like the actions are moving me and moving through me rather than me experiencing resistance. And I'd like that witness consciousness to be there and have that sense of not being focused on the fruits of the action, but the actions itself, and be in joy while doing something that is considered a duty. Can you speak to that, please?
This is exactly what is covered in the chapter 3 and 4 of Bhagavad Gita. What your question is, exactly the summary of those two chapters.
Okay.
Would you like to wait for it? You can wait for it, or else this is exactly what they said, that karmanyeva adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturpu ma te sangushta karmani. That verse, particular verse itself is what you asked me as a question.
Thank you. But it's been fun experimenting with that, and I notice different states in myself depending upon how I frame my orientation to the duty and how I begin, and if I dedicate the action to other than myself. So thank you, Bindo. Thank you so much for your generosity in teaching.
Thank you, Jesse. You will get a clear picture by the time we complete these two chapters. But nutshell, it is exactly saying what you are doing is right. Namaste, Atul.
Namaste, Binduji. I have one question. Have you seen any instance in any Vedic scriptures or anywhere where it is written or something stated, like one must come to the world after realizing the self, otherwise it will fall into deeper ignorance, something like that?
No. In fact, for the realized one, the world is not there. So where will he come? Yatrana anyat pasyati. There is nothing to be seen as otherness to him. There is no otherness in him. So where will he go? Where will he come?
Yeah, thank you, Binduji, for clarification.
Thank you, Atul.
Bindoji, witness is not involving in any analysis, no?
The screen of a movie doesn't get involved in the picture.
Then how to identify that?
But without the screen, no picture also is there.
Yeah.
So now you know. It is your awareness which is the screen. You are the awareness, and in that the screen takes place. That is the screen where everything is taking place.
Yeah.
And you are the witness, and you are not involved in it. And without you, no waking, no dream, no deep sleep.
Again, my mind falls back to the same confusion, like how to differentiate between this pure witness and intellect and egotistic mind, all those things involved in the analysis part.
Yes.
Right? So, if the analysis stops, how could we demarcate, or how could we see that, as I told you earlier, it happens in two ways, you told, no? One is lethargic or the procrastination. How to identify that in the witness? Whether it is taking that procrastinating mode or whether it is really happening, whether it has realized the screen as screen, witness as witness.
It is just like that, Ganesh. Your questions are related to the waking world only. But you are there in your dream also. Even you were there when the deep sleep was going on. That aspect which was present, which knows that the waker, the dreamer, the deep sleep is happening in me. I am neither the waker, nor the dreamer, nor the deep sleeper. That is the witness.
Yes. So easily it is getting trapped every time. When you told that, when you come back to these three states analysis, again mind gets convinced. Yes, my question was from the waker's consciousness and it is not so. Okay, Binduji. Thank you very much.
Binduji, in as a witness, there is no other actually, but in waker, as a waker, there would be others also in it. So yeah. So the difference is only in the belief. When the belief comes with the belief that I'm this body, all the other bodies arise with it, like the whole world. I mean, if I'm there, the whole world is it arises with the whole world. So, and that is a thought, and if it is no thought, and I'm the pure witness if there is no thought.
Yeah. When you become the waker, you created the world and yourself into it. You means not the waker. The experiencer aspect of the waker is a creation of awareness. But that waker cannot look back or know that the awareness is the substratum or the screen in which it is happening until it is explained, and then he analyzes his own experiences, and then he becomes free from the problem of the identity, and that is what is called the freedom of the waker. Irrespective whether you become free or not in the waking, you are a free, independent awareness irrespective of what is happening. But only thing is that we do not know that. Sati Sambadhya na viduhu sati sambadhyamahe. Chandogya Upanishad says that. Having become one with the truth, the Sat, we do not realize that we have become the truth. We are the truth that is in the deep sleep. But deep sleep is a definition given by the waker for accounting the time. Actually speaking, there is deep sleep is nothing but when the waking and the dream is not there, we are in our true Swarupa, Sat Swarupa. But what the waker will do, he cannot know that. So he says that I went to sleep, I dreamt, I am now waker. All the statements are from the waker's point of view. Actually speaking, the waker, dreamer and deep sleeper are a story made by the waker. What is really there is only the awareness, which had become the waker, which had become the dreamer, which the waker and says that I am the dreamer, I am the deep sleeper. So all these things are nothing but awareness. In awareness, these things are happen, like the movie is happening in the screen. There is no I there. The independent individuality is not there. He has no idea for that state of, unless he is hearing it from the Upanishad or Gita or from the teacher. This is the way to look at it and analyze it. Tell me, what is there any independent waker, independent dreamer, which is not in the awareness? Without awareness, neither the waker nor the dreamer will be there. Even the awareness in the deep sleep that I know nothing is in awareness. That is why it's having become one with the Sat. The Sat and the awareness, Sat and Chit are not two separate things. That's one and the same. So in the awareness, the waker calls it as a deep sleeper. That's all. They're all nomenclatures, Nama Rupa, from the point of view of the waker. That is why Yato Vacho Nivartande Aprapya Manasa Saha, that Taittiriya Upanishad mantra. When will the mind become no mind? When the mind is deprived of name and form. Because mind means name and form. All thoughts are names and forms. When the mind is deprived of the name and form, or devoid of name and form, the same mind becomes awareness. There time it is not mind becoming awareness, and the awareness realizes that there is no mind. That is what is called the Amani Bhava, no mind.
That we can always say being. I am beingness. I am always beingness until I become
Yeah,
unknownness.
see, the beingness also, there is a imagination or an ideation in the name and form of the waker. The easiness or awareness or amness or beingness are terminologies of the waker. But even that is not possible in the absolute sense, because there is no word called beingness when the awareness is not there. When the waking is not there. Only in the waking we say the beingness. Isn't it?
Yes. Thank you.
Bindoji, is the awareness termed as Chaitanya?
Yes. Awareness is Chaitanya.
So the contaminated Chaitanya with avidya is what the entire world is, or our existence with mind is, isn't it?
Chaitanya can never be contaminated. The mind which is contaminated when thinks that it is the Chaitanya,
Okay.
the world is there. But Chaitanya is not associated with the mind also. It is just like a mirror full of dust, or, a water body which is full of dirt cannot reflect the light properly. But the moment you clean it, the light is reflected as it is, without any contamination. Same way, the awareness, when the mind is divided of names and forms, will reflect the awareness or the witness or the Sakshi Bhava 100%. Until then, it will be reflecting the ego, individual I. Because it will depend upon the name and form. I means immediately it will think I am the being, I am the intelligent person, or I am the mind and the body and the intellect, and etc., etc. But the moment it is free from all these limitations of the name and form, Nama Rupa, depending upon that means Nama Rupa means thoughts, basically.
Thoughts, yes.
So when the mind is free from thoughts, it becomes pure awareness.
So is it a noun or a verb?
It is both.
Yes, both.
Okay, Prakash, can we close it?
Sure,
Thank you, Bindoji.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you all for coming up and asking the question. Today was more or less a free-flow conversation. And it didn't appear like a quick Q&A session. It was more like a very free-flowing conversation with Bindoji. And as usual, a heartfelt thanks to Bindoji for answering all our questions. And for those who came up, a special thank you. And always for the members of the audience who are sitting and listening. Thank you again. We will meet again on Sunday for an open discussion with Bindoji. Advaita. Bindoji, thank you. You can close the room.
Thank you all.
Bindoji,
Yeah.
one question left from SK, which is written in the chat. He asked, just a minute, am I the Purusha or the Purushottama of the Gita?
Purusha or Purushottama will be discussed when I am coming to 15th chapter. It's long way down. You are in reality the Purushottama. Purusha is what you think you are. So when you stop your thinking, you will become Purushottama. Yes, Revati, you have something?
No, Bindoji. No.
Okay. Thank you all. Yeah, okay. Thank you all. Hari Om. Good night. See you on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.